All right, chat. I know what you're thinking. Policy? Policy is cringe. Policy is unbased. Policy is not poggers. And I know what you're. I get it. I totally get it. You know, we'll keep Twitch chat for this one, huh? Welcome back. I know what you're thinking. But the American Jobs Plan, here's a White House brief sent out on the 31st of March, actually looks pretty darn good. So let's familiarize ourselves with this idea, huh? While the American Rescue Plan is changing the course of the pandemic and delivering relief for working families, there is no time to build back the way things were. We got to build back better instead. I get it. This is the moment to reimagine or rebuild a new economy. The American Jobs Plan is an investment in America that will create millions of good jobs, rebuild our country's infrastructure, and position the United States to outcompete China. Ooh. Public domestic investment as a share of the economy has fallen by more than 40% since the 60s. The American Jobs Plan will invest in America in a way we have not invested since we built the interstate highways and won the space race. Woohoo! All right. It's supposed to be a $3 trillion bill. Let's see it then, huh? Let's skip through a little bit. What are we doing today? Biden, hit me up! Specifically, President Biden's plan will fix highways, rebuild bridges, upgrade ports, airports, and transit systems. The president's plan will modernize 20,000 miles of highways, roads, and main streets. It'll fix the 10 most economically significant bridges in the country in need of reconstruction. Hey, that's what we were talking about with Larry Sharpe, the libertarian stuff. It'll also repair the worst 10,000 smaller bridges, providing critical linkages to communities. And it will replace thousands of buses and rail cars, repair hundreds of stations, renew airports, and expand transit and rail into new communities. Pog. The infrastructure in America is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Repairing this stuff is of critical importance. You know, recently we actually had a bridge collapse in the Seattle area, which was pretty cringe. I think I've shown this to you guys before, but let me see if I can draw this up. Here we go. I don't know what the little dots here are for. I just pulled this from Google Maps, but basically, see this West Seattle bridge? It collapsed, meaning that people who live in this West Seattle, North Admiral, Alki area have to drive all the way south to loop back up a different bridge and highway to get up to Seattle's downtown area. The weakness of that bridge added a 30-minute commute to the people who lived in that area, which is a lot of people. Like, it's like 100,000 people there. Yeah, it just cracked. It didn't collapse, sorry, but still, it's not usable anymore. Anyway, that's very pog. Deliver clean drinking water, a renewed energy grid, and high-speed broadband to all Americans. High-speed broadband. It's time, people. Why the fuck do the Japanese get fucking big dick fiber internet 24/7, okay? And over here in America, we have our dial-up modem. Dial-up modems. You have to turn a crank to get the internet running in America. It's pathetic. We're a first world country. You know, allegedly. It's not good enough, okay? President Biden's plan will eliminate all lead pipes and service lines in our drinking water systems, improving the health of our country's children and communities of color. I don't have anything. I don't have a problem with this necessarily, but I could see conservatives taking issue with this language. It helps everyone. I mean, I don't know. Seems just like it's id pull bait, you know? It will put hundreds of thousands of people to work, laying thousands of miles of transmission lines and capping hundreds of thousands of orphan oil and gas wells and abandoned mines. And it will bring affordable, reliable, high-speed broadband to every American, including the more than 35% of rural Americans who lack access to broadband at minimally acceptable speeds. There are people in the United States who are still jerking off to home catalogs, okay? There are still people out there looking for Victoria's Secret catalogs to bust it to, okay? Because their internet is too slow to download HD, 1080p, 60 FPS VR pornography, which is an American right, by the way. Tragic. Build, preserve, and retrofit more than 2 million homes and commercial buildings, modernize our nation's schools and childcare facilities, and upgrade vet hospitals and Fed buildings. I think this on its own is pretty darn good. I don't know how much I need to expand upon that. That seems fairly self-explanatory. Solidify the infrastructure of our care economy by creating jobs and raising wages and benefits for essential home care workers. Hey, that's what I'm talking about right there. One of the worst places in the world that you can find, okay, are underfunded elderly care facilities, okay? These places are a goddamn nightmare, all right? And it's because they're underfunded, they underpay their workers, there's no oversight, there's no care, okay? This is some good stuff. So that when we're all boomers, okay, we can be sent to a comfy place. That's what I want, okay? I want to go to a comfy place to live out the rest of my life. Revitalize manufacturing, secure U.S. supply chains, invest in R&D, and train Americans for jobs of the future. President Biden's plan will ensure the best, most diverse minds in America are put to work creating the innovations of the future while creating hundreds of thousands of quality jobs today. Our workers will build and make things in every part of America, and they will be trained for well-paying middle-class jobs. Smidge vague on that one. Not much direct to say, but I can give it a look. Create good quality jobs that pay prevailing wages and safe and healthy workplaces while ensuring workers have a free and fair choice to organize, join a union, and bargain collectively with their employers. That right there is pretty goddamn important, okay? We need more union proliferation in this country because it's the only shot we're ever going to have of meaningfully red-pilling people on the idea of collective bargaining in democratic workplaces, all right? This could be pretty goddamn important. Recent study found that 91 Fortune 500 companies paid zero in federal taxes in U.S. income in 2018. Another study found the average corporation just paid 8% in taxes. Yikes! That's not enough. Build world-class transportation infrastructure, fix highways, rebuild roads, upgrade ports, airports, and transit systems. We did that one. I see. Now we're expanding upon the premises put here. 1 in 5 miles, or 173,000 total miles, of our highways and major roads are in poor condition, as well as 45,000 bridges. That is insane. 1 in 5? Just like, if you're looking at a stretch of road, there is a 20% chance that it will be in, quote, poor condition. That is ridiculous. Let's see if we're taking the train pill today. Modernize public transit. Households that take public transit to work have twice the commute time, and households of color are twice as likely to take public transportation. Our current transit infrastructure is inadequate. The Department of Transportation estimates a repair backlog of over $105 billion, representing 24,000 buses, 5,000 rail cars, 200 stations, and thousands of miles of tracks, signals, and power systems in need of replacement. This translates to service delays and disruptions that leave riders stranded and discourage transit use. Sorry, no train pilling, okay? But we are revitalizing the public transportation system, which is good. Here's where we get train pilled. Invest in reliable passenger and freight rail service. The nation's rail networks have the potential to offer safe, reliable, efficient, and climate-friendly alternatives for moving people and freight. However, unlike highways and transit, rail lacks a multi-year funding system to address deferred maintenance, enhance existing corridors, and build new lines in high-potential locations. There are currently projects just waiting to be funded that will give millions more Americans reliable and fast intercity train service. I want every American to take a train everywhere, okay? I want Americans to walk outside onto their front porch, step down onto their lawn, and walk to the sidewalk. And in front of their house, right there on the sidewalk, will be a train station. There will be a train station in front of every residential building in America, and everyone will have a personal train that will take them anywhere. Lines and rails running from every point to every other point, like a big Factorio game, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Build it big. That's wasteful. That's America. Trains for all, baby. Everyone gets one free government train, okay? The Biden Express. Create good jobs electrifying vehicles. I don't really care about electric vehicles. The production of a vehicle, whether it's powered by electricity or gasoline, puts an enormous amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So it's just not something I care about that much. Improve ports, waterways, and airports. Cool, 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 cool. Do we have any nuclear energy being addressed here? Because that would be nice. I would like that personally. Redress historic inequities and build the future of transportation infrastructure. We got that one pretty much. Invest resources wisely to deliver infrastructure projects that produce real results. Very pog, very pog. Make our infrastructure more resilient to climate change disaster, no doubt. Safeguard critical infrastructure and services. These ones are a little bit more technical. I think we get the broader point, so I'm not focusing on them too hard. Also, reading out this entire thing would take me hours. Then we got the clean, safe drinking water. I think we can all agree with that one. Digital infrastructure. Yeah, buddy. Make sure that everyone gets high-speed broadband, as is our God-given right. Thank you very, very much. Re-energize our power infrastructure. Can we get any nuclear energy? Can we get any? Spur jobs, modernizing power generation. So we're going to get a lot of Green New Deal type stuff here.
Toss a coin to your streamer. Oh, viewers aplenty.
Sorry, not seeing nothing about nuclear, guys. It's still too much of an optics landmine. By the way, wouldn't a personal train just be like everyone having a streetcar? Oh, thank you for finding the problem with my suggestion. Build, preserve, and retrofit more than 2 million homes and commercial buildings to address the affordable housing crisis. There is a severe shortage of affordable housing options in America. Millions of families pay more than half their income in rent. God, that's awful. And across the country, people are struggling to purchase their first home. Yeah, struggling is a charitable way to put it. Most of them never will. Produce, preserve, and retrofit more than 1 million affordable, resilient, accessible, energy-efficient, and electrified housing units. Build and rehabilitate more than 500,000 homes for low and middle-income house buyers. Eliminate exclusionary zoning and harmful land use policies. Address long-standing public housing capital needs. Put union-building trade workers to work upgrading homes and businesses to save family money. Based. Modernize our nation's schools and early learning facilities. Okay, guys. Guys, it's everything. Okay? It's everything. This is a very broad infrastructure plan. Oh, this is some stuff I'm here for. The Made in America tax plan. Set the corporate tax rate at 28%. Don't we have something in here about the capital gains tax? Or was that a different bill that he proposed? Or did he just say he wanted that? Discourage offshoring and the race to the bottom around the world. Prevent U.S. corporations from inverting or claiming tax havens as their residence. Fucking based. Sorry, Ireland. Deny companies expense deductions for offshoring jobs and credit expenses on onshoring. Based. Fucking based. Wow. This is communism, people. Now, it was 90% after World War II. No, that was corporate tax rate. You're thinking of upper end wealth tax or income tax. I believe. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Manchin, I think, is actually okay with this bill. Yep. That is assuming the plan has support from all 50 Senate Democrats, which is turning out to be a significant hurdle for the American Rescue Plan, with Senator Joe Manchin holding up a key vote to haggle over unemployment benefits. Manchin said he would support an enormous infrastructure investment funded by raising corporate taxes to at least 25%, whereas Biden hit 28%, but it's not clear where he stands on all the changes Biden is proposing. So we know that he's amicable, that Joe Manchin is amicable to the idea of a big infrastructure bill. Now, because this is a spending bill that we're looking at right here, this can be passed with only 50 people in Congress, or in the Senate supporting it, rather than 60. What did AOC say about the bill? Let's see. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez criticizes Biden's massive infrastructure plan. The Progressive Democrats said the president's proposal needs to be way bigger. Hey, chill. Thank you. Says that the plan needs to be way bigger. Based. All right, AOC is doing her job, pushing left. But AOC, because she's not a dumb fuck, will vote for this bill if it is presented to Congress in the form that it is currently being described. So this is fine and dandy. Look, I don't want $3 trillion spent on infrastructure. I want $3 quadrillion. That's what I want, okay? I want $3 quadrillion spent on infrastructure, all right? Now, my desires aside, the existing 3 trillion is still really, really good. That's still a massive... No, I don't want to get caught up on the doomer pill. It is a massive infrastructure bill. Let me be clear. That is undeniably a massive infrastructure bill. 3 trillion in infrastructure, that's a big bill. That's a big bill, okay? Let's not be wrong. Now, I want more, but that's still big. Very, 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 very big. Let's see. It's, is it 2.25 trillion? 3 trillion was an early estimate, maybe 2.25. That's not going to be much. That is not nearly enough. The important context here is that it's 2.25 trillion spread out over 10 years. For context, the COVID package was 1.9 trillion for this year alone, with some provisions lasting 2 years. Needs to be way bigger. See, it really gives you some perspective on how much money is being thrown around here. So it's actually 2.25 being spent over 10 years, next to the 1.9 we just spent pretty much immediately. Yeah, what is the current bill amount? Somebody in chat saying it's 4 trillion? Let's see. American Jobs Plan cost. Yeah, it's saying 2.3 trillion, 2.29, 2.25, that ballpark. Spread out over 10 years. Now, again, it could be more, but this is still good. So let's lay this out, all right? No Republican is going to vote for this because Republicans hate life. They hate life. They hate the existence of life. They want all living things to perish. So they're not going to vote for this. If Manchin and his ilk end up voting favorably for this, this will probably be one of the greatest investments in American civil development since the New Deal. It'll be in that, not to the extent, but it'll be in that line, up there with, you know, the war on poverty as well, the Great Society and the policies that it brought about. It's going to be up there with one of the great infrastructure bills. And that's good, you know? Credit where credit's due. I was concerned Joe Biden was just going to be another Obama, you know, but Joe Biden has actually been significantly more ambitious with the type of stuff that he's tried to put through than Obama has. And that's great. That's not to say that he's perfect, not even slightly. I feel like I always have to walk this tightrope because I still have criticisms of a lot of the stuff that Joe Biden does, but at the same time, this is still good. This is still a good thing. So let's be optimistic about it, huh? AOC said it should be 10 trillion. How nice that would be, huh? What about 10 septillion? Think about it. Okay? Think about it. Yeah, I know what I said. Septillion, right? I feel like a lot of what's in it doesn't translate to direct spending as much as policy that would cause things to improve. Well, it is direct spending, but nothing with... It looks like we have a combination of public works programs and paying corporations to do good in and of themselves. Now, the concern would be that either this legislation gets cut down heavily by Republicans and moderate Democrats, or that there aren't enough provisions to make sure that corporations who are paid to do this work actually do this work. So it's like, let's revitalize American broadband. We'll give you $100 billion, AT&T. And then AT&T accepts the money and they're like, yes, thank you. And they don't do it, you know? Now, that could be a thing that happens. We'll have to see if there's an interest, if the government is persistent in making sure that all of these entities follow through and actually do pay their, you know, the amount of money they were given. So we'll see if that happens. All the same, it's a good bill. It's a good bill. We'll see how it runs, okay? If that passes through the Senate, that's a big deal. That is a very big deal. Very big